So, welcome to this episode of the latest Insight podcast. Yeah. The last 2 months, I have been bringing in guests, and I did a poll on my Instagram, and it was very clear that you all enjoyed my solo episodes. So, I'm going to try to mix the two in a good way because I also miss coming on and chatting and just kind of giving the latest insights without, a topic and without like a specific thing that we're going to talk about. So if there's anyone here that's completely new and you've never listened to me before, you don't even know who I am really, my name is Elizabeth Finocchiaro. I am a mentor, a coach for people going through transformation and that want to do it with more ease, with more grace, that really value little by little and sustainable transformation. I have been working with clients for a decade and creating concepts, creating styles, creating approaches in my work that revolve around breath work, embodiment, and I just love what I do and all the different ways that I get to do it and who I get to do it with. So this podcast is all about me sharing kind of what's the latest thing, like what are the waves of conversation that have been happening in my world, what's been happening in my world, like that I'm being inspired by or moved by. A lot of the work that I teach, if not all of it to a certain extent, is based on personal experience, based on things that I'm seeing through my life and things that have helped me. And therefore, my clients can take it in their own way and they can help themselves in their own way. So we are all walking the path together. That is very clear. And I, just love to stay curious and stay engaged as much as possible in life so that I can get the wisdom and, this experience that we can talk about and go deep about. So let's start by just tuning in a little bit to the body, to the breath. And there's quite a few of you joining live today. It's so nice. Welcome. You can join these podcast episodes live for those watching the replay and just be in the energy together. Yeah, nice. So just taking a moment to drop in a little bit more, no matter what you're doing, just seeing if you can notice your shoulders, notice your neck, notice your jaw. And not only the body, just seeing if you can relax your thoughts, seeing if you can relax your energetic body. Maybe there is this kind of energetic grabbing or energetic pooling. It's like, how can we just return to a more neutral place in this moment? Relaxing the muscles behind your eyes. And by doing all of that, the breath relaxes. The breath shows you where you're at. It responds. Maybe this can also be a check-in point for you and how has the past month been for you? How have the past weeks been for you? How have the past days been for you? Like what's really going on and how are you really handling it? And on the next inhale, really expanding the belly, bringing it all the way up into your heart and letting go on the exhale. Maybe there's a sound. And one more time, breathing in the belly, up into the heart, and letting it go in an exhale. Good. So, as always, interact exactly as you wish. If you want to, if you're listening to the recording and you're doing some things, if you're live and you're doing some things, everything's welcome. If you're live and you want to interact, if you're on the recording and you want to write things down or lay down, like really just showing up exactly as you wish with this time together. I'm just so happy that we're here. So, so, you guys, it's been some things going on since last. I am currently in Italy, in Sicily. I made a big move. I drove 3,000 something kilometers. And I don't like moving and I don't like driving. It's like these are two things I actually don't like to do. And I did it. It's not that I mean, I was fine. Everything went fine, but it's just two things that I don't like seek out. I don't seek out moving. I'm a very grounded person. I like to just stay where I am. And then I like to travel, but I like to live in one place. And then driving is like, just not something that I necessarily love. So, but everything went so smooth. I know a lot of you are following the journey. I was posting a little bit on Instagram, like my little stops and everything, and just so much love and support from all of you, which just, yeah, is always so amazing to feel the connection. And it's a lot in one way, of course. In a practical way, it's a lot. And emotionally and mentally, it is it is a lot, but at the same time, I don't like to just say that like things are a lot. This is intense because like what does that actually mean? Because if you break it down, it's like, okay, there are pieces that I'm digesting really well and I've set up my life, my body, my system to be able to handle these things, or else I wouldn't have done it because I really believe in sustainability and change, where it's like I don't really want to make big changes if I can't handle it. And I really felt like I could handle this, even though I am feeling there's a huge shift. And or this week was my first week getting back to work in Sicily and kind of finding my routines. And there's just shifts happening. And I guess, we're all experiencing this in different phases where it's just like there's change, there's a shift, there's something happening. And it's like, how do I ground this? How do I communicate this so I can keep moving forward instead of like stopping? I don't know if you guys have experience, and there's nuances to all of this, depends on what type of change you've been through, but certain changes will just knock you out completely. It'll make you go off the side of the earth and you almost don't talk to anybody. And there's other changes that make you go into resistance or sabotage, where just because something changes, you're thinking that everything needs to change and everything's terrible and everything needs to be burned down. I used to have that personality where it's like if one thing was bad, that it equaled everything is bad. And that was this very fiery energy of just burn it all down instead of like, let's just get the water and put out that one fire, like cool that one fire down and not burn everything. But before I was like, burn it all. One thing's burning, let's just burn it all. Let's be done with it and then let's rebuild. Let's just rebuild it. And somehow that loop was so addictive to be like, let's burn it down, let's rebuild, burn it down, rebuild. I'm sure you guys can relate in many ways. And there's something heroic about rebuilding, right? It's like I rose again. But there's also something very exhausting about that. So it's like how do we go through change and not, burn everything down and rebuild everything? How do we kind of keep a momentum, keep sustainability, but at the same time, there is change. Like there are new things wanting to happen. There's new truths happening. There's new needs. There's new desires. How do we like keep moving gracefully with that? I guess that's life, right? I would say that that is kind of the equation in one way, or the formula to sustainability is like, can you continuously meet the needs and the desires of the moment? And what happens is if we can't meet the needs and the desires of the moment, there can be a shutdown, or there can be this like, I just can't do it, so I'm gonna hide. I can't do it, so I'm just gonna sabotage everything. It's real, and there's like so many nuances to this. So for those who are listening, let me know if you can relate to that. So this journey for me is like it's such a big deal. And a big thing in my work right now, this year, the sentence came, it's such a big deal, but it also feels so natural. And this is honestly the vibe that I'm wanting in my life and the vibe I'm wanting with my clients as well, where it's like, I want you to feel like things are a big deal because we need to validate, we need to feel, we need to celebrate, we need to acknowledge the things that we're going through are so important and they're such a big deal. And like a lot of us, we work really hard to get to where we are in different ways, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, like whatever it is. And and then there's this feeling of, but it's natural because I can hold it, because I kind of set myself up to be able to do this. So it's not like crazy. It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like I believe it because I did it. I did that. You did that. And it's like, yeah, but it's still a big deal. I did a big change and my body's still trying to settle. It takes months. Exactly. So it depends on the change, it depends on the state of your nervous system. It depends on how new the change is, how big it is. It's really nuanced. This year, I made a post recently that got a lot of traction about it took me 8 years to get back into a room that was about sexual healing. Because when I was younger, I thought that I would start the path of like tantra and things, and I was like 23 before breath work or like right during the time where I found breath work. And that path sent me into like I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't hold like I don't know. It was just not I was not ready for it. And then this year, I entered a space very professionally held in all of this about sexual healing. And I was like, this is a really big deal that I'm here because there's been certain things in my life that have been very difficult to address and very difficult to face in a regulated way. And the fact that I was there, I was like, but it feels so natural to be here. So it's like, it's a right timing. Like I'm here, I'm in capacity to be here. Where when I was younger, it's like I wanted to be there, but I had no capacity to be there. So there was only shutdown, panic attacks, got sick, like all of these symptoms from not being ready. Now, I'm not saying that all change has to feel natural necessarily, because there's like a learning ground there of yeah, it's not always supposed to feel like um I feel like I hear music, but I might not know. I don't think there's music. I feel like I hear this like really faint music. Spotify's not even on. That's so weird. I hear this like singing. My gosh. Oh my gosh. No, no. Okay. So, so yeah, the change, the holding, the naturalness. How do we get to a point where we can kind of just keep circulating change? And that's, again, like, I feel like that's the basis of what we're doing, especially in my world. Like, that's kind of the basis of it all. Like, how do we circulate change? Because change is inevitable, it's always happening. And I believe the more we allow ourselves to change in natural ways, so like just development, evolution, your thoughts, your emotions, your experience kind of shapes who you are and you become more wise and you grow and you mature and you want new things and you've integrated new things. Therefore, the next thing, it's like the natural evolution. When we do that, we feel more fulfilled because we're following, a flow, we're following evolution. We're learning new things, we're getting better at things. Like there's so many, yeah, benefits. Progress. Humans love progress. It's good for us. And why is it hard? Why is it hard to sustain change? There's many different angles. Identity is a big one. There was another one that just came up, forgetting it now. is a big conversation. You know, reflecting, why are you resisting the change? So we just started on a big conversation. Was not planning on going into that so much, but that's fine. I love that. That's the beauty of these episodes. I think sustaining change demands a lot of presence. Doing the same thing, living very subconscious, does not demand that much presence. It can still take energy from you, but if you're used to something taking your energy, then it doesn't really impact you in the same way. But if you spend energy, so if you spend conscious presence facilitating a change in your life, and then, for example, something bad happens, it's like I just spent all that energy just to be disappointed. I just, really focus on this thing just for it not to work out. And then a solution there would be, well, let's just not work hard on that. Let's just not focus on that. Let's not move towards that because it's going to bring discomfort, disappointment, rejection, whatever the thing is that we don't want to feel. So I think resisting change, not being able to sustain change, will also show you your relationship to feeling disappointed, feeling rejected, feeling, yeah, I think those are really big ones, disappointment and rejection. Another reason why I think it's hard to sustain change is because your body does not, like, we haven't taught ourselves as adults that it's a it's a good thing. Like, we're gonna be fine. It's a positive thing. And that's why I teach so much about celebration and validation of really celebrating yourself and understanding like this is important. And when you do that, you create memories of importance in your body, and then you're just going to, yeah, reinforce this positive change for yourself, or at least change that brings perspective, growth, wisdom. So, all that to say, there's a lot of change in my life, but there's always change in my life. There's always change in life. So there's this groundedness of like, yeah, I just moved to Sicily. I have left my everyday that I've had, left being close to my family. This spring, I also left a relationship. Like there's been changes, and there's always changes in life. There's always things to adapt to. Habits and the pattern that goes against the change. Yeah, exactly. Or circumstances around. Yeah. Environment, the subconscious habits. Absolutely. Sustaining change requires conscious presence. It requires like to really constantly show yourself. And what happens if you show yourself? It can be vulnerable. What happens if something's vulnerable? You can get hurt. What happens when you get hurt? Like, I think that's kind of a foundational question to ask yourself. Like, what happens if you get hurt? Like, where do you go within yourself? Because if you go to a place that is like, again, burn everything down, I'm going to quit, I'm going to go into a hole, then it's like change is going to be so much harder for you because every time something doesn't go according to your plan, or every time you get hurt, you hide. Instead of like every time I get hurt, I learn, I heal, I get back up, keep breathing, I keep like in motion all the things that are good for me. Like being hurt is a part of life. We don't like it though, of course, but it's a part of life. So I feel this, I don't know, it's not like a nervousness. I think lately I've been connecting deeper into the part of me that is performing. And I just got like chills in my whole body. because I have been showing up publicly, teaching social media for a long time. Before, I think even before breathwork, maybe 12 years, 13 years. And there's so many seasons of that for those who can relate to showing up and sharing yourself. And yeah, it's just like there's always a new kind of evolution there as well. Let's see if there's a comment coming in. I feel that when it hurts, I have two choices. I can give up or move forward, swim in the pain or find an action point. Hmm. Exactly. And I think the beauty of being a human is like we get to swim in the pain and find an action point, but I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, we definitely, because pain also changes, right? Like pain is wisdom. There's so much wisdom in everything, and it moves. The more we accept everything, the more everything moves. So resisting pain is the opposite of sustaining change. And once we understand this, life is, we're not like down spiraling as much. We're not, it's so funny because yesterday I was reflecting with myself in the car, and I remember in 2021 or something, or 2020, or I had a dark night of the soul. I'm sure many of us did in 2020 during the lockdown. And it was a lot of, yeah, allowing change. Yeah, exactly. Just like allow, open, accept, embrace. I had a dark night of the soul, and I remember this was a huge turning point of my emotional intelligence. And this is when healing the heart came through, and I started teaching healing the heart, which is one of my favorite ever things to teach. My emotional intelligence program next round is in November. And I just remember being so tired of downward spiraling because I would downward spiral like every week. And you could ask me like, how's Elizabeth doing? Like, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, like, let me tell you what's going on because things are difficult. Things are intense. And it's not that I was necessarily like victimizing, but it was literally my body's experience of like, it's intense. I'm not saying that life is just like, but it just feels like that. Like, that was really my experience. And I remember I started to count the weeks that I didn't downward spiral. I was like, oh my God, it's been a week. Oh my God, it's been 2 weeks. Oh my God, it's been 3 weeks. It's been a month. I haven't downward spiraled in a month. I was celebrating this. Then it was 2 months. I'm like, I haven't downward spiraled in 2 months. Like, this is crazy because I spent most of my life in a downward spiral, at least coming in and out of it, right? Burn it down, rebuild it, be the hero. Something bad happens, burn it down, rebuild it, be the hero, like that. The self-fulfilling prophecy. And then it was 3 months. And then it was 4 months. I remember hitting 5 months of not downward spiraling. One of like this was unheard of for me. And I was like, wow, like, is it possible to live life without, like digging things up all the time and being really hard on myself? And then one came, came and went, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I can downward spiral a little bit here and there. Like, I'm not doing it every week. And then it was like another 3 months of not doing it. And I don't remember really the last time I've downward spiraled. It's been 6 years since I started to track, or 5 years, and I have had ups and downs. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Celebrating. I have so many ups and downs these past 5 years, so many challenges, but I haven't downward spiraled. And of course, like I said, there's definitely been some tough days, tough weeks, tough months, like doubting myself, fear. I have doubt and fear every day, but it's very different than downward spiraling. A downward spiral is like we are going to dig a hole. I'm going to get in the hole and I'm going to put the dirt on top of me and I'm just going to like sit in the hole because resistance got too much. I just can't handle this. And I'm going to start making bigger problems. I'm going to start making more problems. I forget why I started this, but I want to tie it back. Why did I bring this up? Spiraling. Da, 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 da. Sustaining change. Story. Da, da, da. Okay. Like, why did I bring this up? I think I know why. I was saying that okay, there's a lot of different things coming in. So I was talking about how I have been tuning into, showing up online and showing up in my work and how that changes. And there's so many different seasons of that. And even so, I mean, obviously social media has changed so much. So even just the platform itself that I have been and we have been interacting in has changed so much and values different things now than it used to in some ways. And again, another change to kind of like keep keep going with. And I've been tuning into the part of me that is performative. We all have it. It's one of the shadows that we all have. Like when you're in the presence of this, when you're doing this, you become somebody, or I become somebody that puts on a type of way of being. And there's good things about performance. There is a composure about performance. There is a pose about performance. There is, a passion about performance. But it can also create a mask. It can also create, distance between. It can also create like, yeah, distance, I think is a big thing. And I think in this season, what I'm going through right now is that I'm like not even realizing that I'm doing it, not wanting to do it either. I really don't want to perform when I'm working or when I am online. And it's just so interesting to find the different ways of communicating what I'm feeling and what I'm wanting to share and how I'm wanting to help and what I have to offer. And right now, I'm just like, I don't know how that connected with the Dark Night of the Soul or the downward spiral situation. So we are just all over the place right now, but I usually tie it all together. So let's just take a little moment. I'm just gonna get some water. My huge cup. I mean, everything that I've been talking about has this thing in common of allowing change. And I think when there is these downward spirals, it's really hard to stay present in the change because now all of your attention, all of your presence is towards beating yourself up. It's towards being hard on yourself. It's towards how hard everything is. And it's a distraction. In many ways, it's a sabotage distraction. And it's sad because it's pointed towards yourself. Like you're destroying yourself to distract yourself from feeling pain. But it hurts so much to be hard on yourself. And this is another teaching that has been coming more alive the past year or so in my work, where it's like you're avoiding feelings that you already feel. So it's like I don't want to feel the discomfort of this thing that is changing in my life. So I'm going to beat myself up and I'm just going to feel that discomfort because this discomfort, at least I know it. At least I know that one. I know the discomfort of hiding. I know the discomfort of being hard on myself, but I don't know the discomfort of, putting myself out there more or doing this more or doing that more. So it's like familiar discomfort, unfamiliar discomfort. We will usually choose the familiar discomfort, but it's all discomfort. You're already feeling it. So seeing if we can go towards the new discomfort. The new pain goes towards something new. Okay, let me go to my notes. I haven't gone to my notes this whole podcast. Okay, let's see. What did I prepare here? Okay. Yeah, there is a bit of a identity shift happening in my work right now as well. This is more like personal stuff, but I have been teaching breathwork for many years, and breathwork has just been, the almost like I could say like the love of my life. Like I'm just so inspired by the breath and feel so blessed that I've been able to be captured by what I call the spirit of the breath and to teach it and to facilitate it and to, you know, just dive into the benefits of it and how incredible it is. And at the same time, lately, I've noticed I'm talking less about breath work. I'm not getting technical about the breath. I never really have, but I'm definitely not doing it more. Um, and it scares me. And it has scared me for some time. I remember some years ago, and this is a process inside of healing the heart of like taking all your roles away. So like what happens when you take away all of your roles? Suddenly you're not a whatever you think you are anymore. So whatever your profession is, like take it away and who are you? Whatever your role is in your, relationship dynamics, take that away. Who are you? And do you like that person? Like, do you know that person, first of all? And then what's your relationship to that person? And when I took away breath work, like my name and breath work, I was just like, oh, I was not okay with it. I did not feel good about it. And then I was like, okay, there's a big process here I need to face. Like I need to go through this because it's not good. It's not sustainable to have that. And I've worked on that for the past couple years. And it's kind of leading to this point of it's so much more than breath work. And I made a post recently. It was like my work is so much more than breath work, obviously. And you guys know this as my clients and people in my world. But for me, I just got so tunnel visioned and I love the sessions so much and I love guiding the sessions. And I'm definitely not going to stop guiding the sessions. But it's just this identity shift that needs to happen in my mind and also a bit practically as well through the way that I communicate and noticing what is really lighting me up, noticing what's really lighting me up talking and sharing and teaching. Because I love teaching about emotional intelligence. I love teaching about capacity work. I love teaching about change, like sustainable change. I love coaching privately of like you telling me what's going on and I can really mirror and give reflection and give mentoring. Like this is I just love this so much. And then I also love guiding the sessions as well. So it's like how do I bring all of these together? And right now I'm in the launch of my breathwork certification program, which is starting in September. And I'm just noticing where it's just like I'm talking less and less about breathwork inside the breathwork certification program. And it's like, how is that a good thing? Like, what's going on? Do I need to refine here? Does something need to change? And the answer is yes. Like, there is a change happening. And I don't know exactly what it looks like right now. And I'm still meeting it and I'm still letting it, show itself to me. I also think, the constant need for something to change can also be an avoidant tendency of like, there's a discomfort, I need to change something, right? So there's like a shadow to change. There's a shadow and that's when you force change. So that's why I talk about natural change. I talk about allowing change, like the movement of change instead of like changing. Like changing just happens. You don't have to do the changing, but we need to allow the change. I don't know if that was as profound as it felt. Like sometimes I say things and I'm like, wow. And then it's like this quite simple. The simple things are the advanced things. So, so maybe that's why I started talking about the dark night of the soul. I'm not sure, but is like when I'm faced with these things that feel very big, that feel like, okay, this is something I really need to sit with. This is something that's very important to me, but I'm not going to downward spiral. Like I'm not going to like I'm going to keep engaging with it. I'm going to be able to stay present in this process. Of course, there's going to be moments of avoidance. We all have our avoidance tendencies. There's going to be a moments of kind of checkout, but in general, it's not like these big checkouts that I used to do when I was younger. Maybe you can relate, the more capacity we hold, the more we can sustain the energy, sustain the presence in our life. So I noticed something that I really loved this year so far was selling Healing the Heart, which was the biggest group that I ever had. And I've been teaching Healing the Heart for 6 years. And it was the most clear round of Healing the Heart I ever taught. And I'm just so proud of this program. And I'm so excited to launch it in November. I'm already thinking about the launch. I'm already thinking about the program. And then I'm like, okay, that's a sign that there is this a lot of energy to teach that. And also the Engage Mastermind, which is a completely new offer that I have, and just how fun it was talking about it and how passionate I am about the concept of engagement. It's the process of really noticing avoidance tendencies and rewiring them to notice like what do you need to fully engage in your life right now? How can we stay curious? How can we stay in the ventral, in the open, soft belly, open, curious part of yourself? And that part can lead in your life to make regulated choices. It's all about like regulated life, like regulated power, which I just notice is just yeah, gives me so much energy to talk about. And the people inside of the mastermind are just so resourced, such intelligent people. And we're just getting started. So that's really exciting as well. So there's that. What else? I mean, we also, when I say we, it's me. It's just me and my company, but I put down the ripple effects. So some of you know the offer, some of you don't, but it's been something I've been doing for 2 years and I decided like now it's an end. And I think that's also a difficult thing when it comes to change. Like, how do you end things that aren't bad, but you just feel are complete? This is also like an identity thing. How do you end something that's good? Like, why would you do that? You should just end things that are bad because they're bad. So there's just been a lot of different angles of change happening in my brand, in my life. It's been a mirror completely, but the constant has been this sustainability, this engagement, this presence, this naturalness, this my body is leading the process, not so much my mind. It's like my body is just like, yeah, we're ready for this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Get that. Do that. It's like the body is ready. The body is in capacity. And that journey of getting there is what we're working on in my world of like how do we not spin out? How do we stay grounded? How do we stay intentional so that, when life lifes, we can respond in the way that we want to respond. So one more topic that I wanted to bring in, one more insight that has been huge in my world, in my personal world, and also in with my clients, and especially inside the Engage Mastermind, it's been this conversation of getting your needs met. And it's like simple thing, right? I think a lot in this personal reconnect the neurosynapses in our brains. I didn't say that, but this is a big part of it as well. Creating new, or is that what you mean? Or yeah. So yeah, feel free to elaborate if you want. Mm, this, I think a lot in the personal development world, there's a focus a lot on what you want. And I think this question is, yeah, new pathways, yeah. This question is so important. And I've also coached this question a lot with my clients. Like everything, like there's always a desire underneath something. There's always a desire underneath like why you do what you do. It's like because you want comfort, because you want change, because you want to be seen, because you want to be validated. Like there's always a desire. And or it's like there's always a need. And I really feel like these two things are very interesting. And right now I'm actually diving like deeper into it because they're just simple concepts that we're all talking about, but it's like really like what is the energetics behind there and how do they play with each other? Because I'm noticing that a lot of people are going for what they want, but they don't have their needs met. So it's like you're focusing so much on, I want this, I want this, I want this. But there's not even, it's like you want fruits, but the plant isn't in the ground. It's this feeling of, but I want this. And it's like, yeah, but where are you? Like, where is the roots? The needs feel like the roots and the desires feel like the fruits. And I think there's like a mismatch that happens in our body when it's like just focusing on desire without having these like deep needs met. And I think it's easier to focus on desire because there's dopamine. There's a lot of dopamine in desire or this feeling of like fresh energy of like, I want that. Like, that would be amazing. Like, it's more dreamy, it's more visiony, it's more pleasurable. Like, obviously, the things that you want are things that are like gonna, you think are going to bring you pleasure, you think are going to like make you happy and all of this. And the things that you need are more like survival based, safety, security, like these things that kind of, as you can just feel it when I say it, it's more of a like it's more of a heavier, it's frequency that is, it's more like boring, especially to a nervous system that is used to excitement and, change always happening in the sense of like it needs to happen and you got to make things happen. Then the security and the steadiness can feel like, no, let's go to the desire. Let's go to the fun stuff. Don't worry about the needs. I'll be fine. And that's the thing, like we're bypassing well-being. We're bypassing how we're bypassing the roots. It's so much easier to just want fruit than to actually like tend to fertile soil. It takes so much more time to do that type of work. Could you talk a bit about navigating regret, grief in a change or transition? So two different directions here. Do you want to give me one of direction or something a little bit more concrete because it's very big topics. Feel free to like get a little bit more specific if you can. So I heard a quote once that I've been chewing on for like 8 years, and it was when you reach your desires, your needs will automatically be met. And I've been sitting with that for so many years, being like, does it make sense? Does okay, like I like the idea of it and I like the person who said it and I kind of want to believe it to be true and I want to experience it. And in many ways, if you can sustain desires, your needs will be met. But I feel like your system is sustainable when your needs are met. Like you can sustain desires better when needs are met. Like sustainably. You can meet desires in many different states. You can meet your desires. Have you guys ever got something that you wanted and it just fell through your fingers? You're like, I got it. And then the next day, you're like, I don't got it anymore. Or the next week, like you couldn't hold it, but you got it. And that feeling of getting it was like, wow. And then you let go of it because you couldn't hold it. Where when you get your needs met in your life, you create this like security and this strength that when the desires come, you have a better likelihood of holding it. So this morning I was reflecting a bit and I was like, what is this, kind of like mission that I'm doing? Because I've had many iterations of missions in my career. And I'm like, I wonder if there's going to be like a little phrase going on that's like, I help people meet their needs so that they can go for their desires. Because this is really what my work is about. It's like, how do you become somebody that is so clear on what they need in their lives, in their relationship, in their career, in their relationship to themselves, how you show up, what like really what nourishes you and what creates security and stability in yourself and in life. And then from there, like, what do you want? From there, it's like, what are we doing? What do you want to create? Let's go. And then you're not going to downward spiral and go through all of these dark nights of the soul all of the time because like the security is there. So this is kind of a new angle that I'm working on in the background that just kind of landed this morning, to be honest. But it's been a big conversation with my clients of like, let's get your needs met. And if you don't know, and it's like a huge conversation, just like the change thing, like why aren't you getting your needs met? It's like because you maybe put them onto someone else and that someone else cannot do it, and you have to face the fact that that person cannot do it. Like I left my relationship this spring because he could not meet my needs. I presented them to him, very clear, multiple times. This is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. I gave him so much time to give me what I needed, give me what I needed in a relationship. And I had to check in on myself so many times, be like, am I asking for too much? Is this too much? Is this like not, and then I kept feeling my heart and it's like, no, it's not too much. This is completely not like your needs are beautiful. They are aligned to your values. And if anything, some of the needs I was asking for were like basic, sometimes it's like, whoa, girl, their basic needs. Let's get them met because this is just not good enough in a way. Bless him. I have a lot of respect and love for him, and we're in a good friendship and relationship and everything. Everything's good in that way, and we split very respectfully. And there was some things that could have been done a little bit different, but in general, it went okay. But I presented to him my needs, and I was like, "Can you please meet them?" Because now, and it got to a point where I was like, you either meet them and meet me, or I have to go. Like, you choose. Meet me or not, I have to go. And he got to the conclusion of like, he's like, I can't meet those needs. I just can't give it to you. And I said, okay, then I'm gonna go. And I said, if one day you decide you can, call me, but I might not be available. But call me. Let's see. So it's like he couldn't meet my needs. So I went and met my own needs because he couldn't do it. And I think this is what we're doing a lot in life is we're putting our own needs in the hands of other people and just waiting for them to meet them. Instead of being like, let me take them back. I'm going to meet my own needs now because you couldn't do that, right? And it can be done in so much grace. Like my breakup was so graceful because I was like, I see that you're going through whatever you're going through, and like you're living your life how you want to live your life. This is how I want to live my life. This is how I want to have my relationship. Like if you want to meet me here, amazing. I want to be with you. If you can't, I gotta go because I just have to because my needs aren't getting met. Like it's a really basic, again, security. It's foundational root stuff. I'm like, because the soil is just not, it's not fertile here anymore. Like we got to take care of the soil. And if you're not doing that, I gotta go get another farmer. It's not working. Like practically, it's just not working. Like matter of fact, needs are very matter of fact. It's like yes or no. Desires are more like potential. Let's see what happens. Let's grow together. Let's see what's going on. But there has to be like a foundation in place in order for desires to be fun and sustainable, or else they'll just spin you out. Okay. A change that I thought was right, but I feel so much grief and start to regret the change. hmm So I've been through grief in personal, but I haven't like studied grief. But I know, or what I know to be true is there is a phase within grief where regret comes in. I'm not saying that this is just a phase for you. We all have different timelines and experiences, and there's truth here. So whatever you share, there is a truth. So you are feeling regret, you are feeling a change, you are feeling grief. Like there's all truth here. There's also a kind of like a more grounded approach of like this can be a very normal part of the process where the grief and the change becomes so much for your system that it would be easy to just return. It would be like, oh, well, why don't we just get back together? Or why don't I just move back? Like I had a feeling this morning of like, I should leave Italy. But it came and went like this. But I was like, yep, that's that feeling in me that's like I'm in a new place, a lot of change. It would be easier to go back. So I think holding both to be like there is a truth here. It can be part of the natural grieving phase of wanting to go back to familiarity, which I know myself I've gone through and I've heard other people go through, witnessed other people go through this and realizing that no, they did do the right thing. It was just part of the process. You kind of had to move that through your body. Or again, it's your timeline, it's your unique situation where it's like you did what you did. And as long as you keep showing up for yourself, as long as you keep getting closer to your truth, life can bend and turn in so many directions, but you did what you did, and I think it's important to back yourself with that because there was also power in truth and in the decisions that you took, and they were necessary for some sort of awakening or some sort of clarity. So just using that clarity and doing your best to keep following your truth in the moment. I know it's like easier said than done, with the awareness of regret being a part of the grieving process. I would even look it up. I don't know. I don't study that much stuff. As you guys know, I don't really read books and everything. I just kind of get inspired from life and my own experience and witnessing people. But I really wouldn't doubt if regret was literally like phase three. Like I have no idea. But it has to be a natural part of it because and from me understanding people and the nervous system, it will crave to go back to familiarity. So just know that that's a part of it, but it's not the whole part. So really feeling into your unique truth, keep following that. Keep accepting, embracing what is and see how life unfolds for you. Mm. I'm so happy that was helpful. Good. All right. Let me check my notes. Let me see. Oh, okay, we got a grief expert. Good. There must be a phase, people talking about this. So, and that's kind of another thing that's been coming up is embrace. In the beginning of July, was in so much resistance. I was on the back end of moving out completely alone, doing like the move, the wash, everything. And I organized a lot of things with my grandmother. And some of you know, some of you don't know, but I've been the primary caretaker for my grandmother, the one who's been managing her team and her health and basically her whole life for the past 6 years. And I had to reorganize things, which I was prepared to do, but then assistants were quitting and I had to rehire a whole team basically. Like there was just so much that got put on my plate right before going to Italy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to be able to go? And I planned on going, and so many things were coming up for me. And I just wasn't in embrace. I was not embracing the reality. I wanted things to be different. I wanted things to look different. I was under a lot of pressure. I was under a lot of things going on, organizing all my stuff, getting prepared to leave. And I was just reminded about the power of embrace. The moment I start to feel resistance is the moment that I'm not embracing the reality. And when you can fully embrace reality, your life exactly as it is, the resistance starts to dissolve. When you can fully meet your life exactly as it is, with the choices that you've made to get you exactly where you are right now. If you can land there, You are in the best state to make decisions and to lead yourself to the next thing. If you live with resistance and you make decisions from there, everything suffers from that because you are acting in frustration, resentment. Things should be different. There's suppression there as well because it's like, oh, if you know how I really feel about this is I don't want it to be here. There's shame. There's so much in the room when you are resisting the room instead of just being in the room as much as you can room the room. You'll be in such better condition to be able to handle whatever it is that's on your plate. Clarity, answers, inspiration, intuition, solutions start to come. I remember softening resistance and it made me think of an idea. And I hired my family, or I facilitated the whole thing for my family to hire a manager to manage the whole team for my grandmother so I don't have to do it anymore. And it was like these ideas just came up when I softened resistance. And then suddenly this whole motion started to come in, and I organized that whole thing, and it worked out so great. Like it just worked out better than I could ever imagine. Yeah. But only through embrace can we actually access regulated answers and intuition and power from that place that is more sustainable. It's more grounded. And very important that you meet your needs. Get your needs met. It's going to be so much easier for everything else. And if you don't know what you need, feel into it. Write a list, reflect on it. Like, what are your needs in your relationships, in your friendships, in your career, in your relationship to yourself, in your lifestyle, like your day to day, your weekly needs, your monthly needs. It's just like, what is kind of the vibe that keeps you engaged, that keeps you on, that keeps you soft, that keeps you curious, that keeps you open, inspired, rested, taken care of, like these secure things. And then it's like, what do you want? Like, what are the kind of bigger things that you're visioning, that you're dreaming, that you're wanting, so that we can create this beautiful tree, this beautiful garden, this beautiful farm where there's fertile soil and there's also blooming trees. That's what I want for you. I really want that. And I am actively working on doing this in my life on a whole new level lately. I feel this year has been huge in the sense of meeting my own needs in my life and really unfreezing. I know like two podcasts back, I have an episode with Juliette about unfreezing, and huge. Such a big part of all of this is like really getting out of the avoidance tendencies and looking at the parts of you that are shutting down, the parts of you that are suppressed. It's such a big journey. So I hope this episode, there was some things here for you that you could take with you, some inspiration, some connection points. I, yeah, I'm so happy to continue this podcast and doing some solo episodes, and we'll see who my next guest will be on the podcast. And as terms of work right now, I have the facilitator program, the facilitation certification program starting in September. It's 6 months, trauma-informed facilitation. So if you're working with people and you want to deepen your presence, you want to deepen your professionality, you want to deepen this capacity to hold people and learn conscious connective breathwork sessions, this could be the perfect program for you. And we start September 29th. I also have 2 spaces for one-on-one mentorship right now, which is minimum of 6 months. Very powerful if you're kind of done with the courses and you want personalization, like you want to be heard, mirrored, reflected, and do life together. Very, very powerful. And I also have this new-ish offer, which is embodiment sessions, where there's no mentorship in between. It's just 1 hour. You book them when you want them, and 1 hour of getting you in your body. So if there's things you've been wondering about, if there's emotions that you feel need to be processed, if there's things that you're feeling a bit sticky, we have 1 hour together where we move as much as we can and get you in the body, because that's where that's where you need to be. And that's really the cause of, you know, the resistance is the resisting the body, the resisting the reality, the resisting to feel. So I will help you and guide you through that. So there's embodiment session packages that you can purchase and then you can book them when you want them. So there's many options, and just feel free to reach out or visit my website if there's something that you're curious about. I'm really here to answer questions and connect. I'm so grateful that this podcast reaches so many people and supports so many people. I love hearing your messages about the podcast as well. So feel free to share the podcast and to also leave a rating and to message me about it if it was like, oh, this really hit me. Like, I'm here for connection and I really care about the impact it makes and how you take it in. So I would love to hear from you. I will see you where we're next connected. I also have a membership, The Circle, where I do breathwork sessions, masterclasses, meditations. This week is a masterclass this Thursday, and it's a beautiful place to be if you want the ongoing practices, sessions, classes, time with me. The group is amazing and it's no binding, so you can join 1 month, 1 year, 4 years, 5 years, whatever you want, stay forever. And so that space is always open for you, The Circle. So thank you everyone that came live to the podcast. Just know that you can always join live if you want to be in that energy. And thanks for everyone who has listened to the replay. So I'm sending so much love. See you soon and have a beautiful rest of your day, morning, night, or wherever you are in the world. Bye, everyone.